Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony for Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends The CABAL 3-pack, which includes Taskmaster, Iron Patriot, and Doctor Doom. This 3-pack has a lot of reused parts, some new parts, and is overall pretty good, honestly. I think it's one of the better things Hasbro has released, and if all of their releases were like this, I think they'd have a much better reputation. Just a hunch. Not to say that this thing is without its flaws. We'll cover all of the good stuff and all of the bad stuff, but I do think most of you are probably going to like it. I'm guessing most of you already have it. I've been sitting on this one for a while, but we're going to review it anyway. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figures, I do want to show you my package. It's a standard package. I think it's fine. It's nice and square. I like that. Maybe a little devoid of color, but not bad. You still get to see the figures right across the front. Their names are actually on the front. That's good. The name of the 3-pack, I almost said 2-pack, that's on the front. I think this is a better way of doing it than the Wolverine 2-packs that we've seen lately. Some artwork on the side, some more artwork on the back. I guess they didn't want Taskmaster in the artwork. That's a bummer. That's kind of strange. But whatever, decent enough box. I think that'll be fine for those of you who collect on the card. Alright, let's do some quick height measurements. I'm going to try to go through this quickly because it is 3 figures in one review and a lot of reused stuff. But Norm here stands just above 6 3/4 inches. That's going to make him pretty close to, let's just call it 17.25 centimeters. Taskmaster, he stands about 16, is that 16 and a half? Yeah, 16 and a half, and that's going to make him about 6.5 inches. And Mr. Doom, Mr. Robert Downey Jr., apparently 6.5, give or take, not counting his hood tip, so 16.5 centimeters. Okay, let's get them all on here with Darwin so you have an idea of what they look like up against the best Marvel Legends figure of all time. There you go. He's like right in the middle with Taskmaster and Doom, I guess. Yeah, he could be about their size. Okay, so let's do a quick question of the day. Is this the best multi-pack Hasbro has ever released? I think it might be. I can honestly say I have no problem buying a 3-pack when there are 3 figures in it that I'm happy to own. And I think that's how most people are going to regard this 3-pack. Most of the time they plug in some figures that are really garbage that nobody wants. I don't think that's the case here. So question of the day, did you want all 3 of these guys? Are you happy to buy this 3-pack? What are your thoughts on this? I think this is the way to do it. Okay, let's run through the aesthetic. We'll just do each guy at a time. This is Doctor Doom with a cloth cape, and he looks pretty darn good in this darker green, darker gray, not super metallic. It is more glossy than metallic. It is the shampoo bottle plastic with the swirls in it, but it doesn't look too bad, I think. We do still have the pins. Oh my goodness, the pins. What a horrible figure. I'm being sarcastic. They don't bother me at all. Still have the sculpted dress, and it looks good. The sculpted hood. The only thing I don't like about the hood is that you really have to lean the head forward in order for his face to be forward. And the hood's kind of awkward with doing that, but it works well enough. I don't mind that. The face is done nicely in there. We do have the cloth back here. Is this the first time we've gotten this particular cloth cape? I think it is. It looks like it would be able to be draped over the shoulders. It cannot. It just has the built-in folds there, and it does not have any wire, so be aware. It is just a dangly cape, but it is a nice spandex, so the material looks good at this scale. Spandex is the way to go, honestly. Yeah, and he looks really good. Just a little bit of paint in here and on his belt, and I think he's good to go. Like, yeah, more paint is better, but he looks awesome. All right, let's talk about Norm. How much of this is reused? I want to say about half of it's reused parts, maybe even more. I can't remember for sure. There's a couple parts that I know are new. Anyway, I think this is probably the best looking Iron Man build that we've seen in a long time, proportionally. He's got the shoulders up high, nice and broad, narrow waist, good chest poof. Yeah, it looks good, and he doesn't have a giant noggin either. So I like that a whole lot. He is a little bit... He's not a little, he's very glossy, almost zero metallic, and no like line work or anything like that, but the paint that's on there is pretty darn clean. And then I think the face, that's a nice head sculpt. Nice head sculpt, nice paint job. I'm perfectly satisfied with this guy. And we'll get to his alternate head when we get to the accessory section, but I wish he didn't look so plasticky. I get what they're going for, but I think metallic would have gone a long way over the gloss. or at least some panel lines or something, because some parts like his arms look a little bit just too cheap and chintzy. Same thing with the legs. But yeah, he's a pretty good looking figure. I will take it. That broad chest, the broadness, the breadth of the chest, and then the extra thickness there, I think that looks good. So he looks good too. And then lastly, Taskmaster on the Vulcan body. Easily the best Taskmaster figure they've released so far. That's not to say a whole lot, but it's good. It's solid. Some new stuff here, some old stuff. But lots of paint variation, or lots of plastic variation, enough paint variation. He comes to life just fine. The only thing that I'm really missing on this guy is the chest flap here is just painted on. I don't love that, but I get it, so I don't really care that much. Same thing over here. There's no sculpt. It's just plastic to paint. So yeah, it could be better, but they did get some of the detail work in there, and the skull looks nice. The cape is really well done for being a painted cape. Yeah, this is a really good looking 3-pack. I'm going to say for Marvel Legends, this 3-pack gets an 8.5 out of 10. We do have some issues. Like I said, he's way too plasticky looking, even though he's supposed to be shiny, and just a few things here and there on him, but 8.5, not a bad rating. Now, as far as accessories go, Doom gets an alternate head to be a Doombot. He also gets 2 fist hands, and he gets his little, is that a Luger? I believe it's a Luger. So, yeah, not a bad spread for him. For Norm, we get the alternate head with the helmet. Does yours look like this, or is my paint off? Because that paint looks off to me, like a lot. It should be up on the eyes and up on the mouth, but mine's dangling low, the black lines. Let me know what you think about that. Is yours like that? And then we also get 2 repulsor blast hands and some pretty solid repulsor blasts. I like that orange to yellow. Nicely done. And then Taskmaster gets by far the most, although no alternate head. He does get 3 extra hands, the 2 fist hands and the open hand. We get his shield, we get his bow, we get a terrible arrow, we get a sword that's acceptable, and then his little crappy gun. Don't really like the way the bow looks either, being glossy brown and then clear. I don't care for that, but the arrow is really the only downside, the real bad thing. So that's a pretty good array of accessories for such a solid 3-pack. I will go, I think I'm only going to go 8 out of 10. Could go 9. I could. I think 8, because there's a lot of reuse here. I think we could have gotten a little bit more, but that's still a pretty good spread. Now, we'll run the articulation really quickly, because we've seen at least most of this before, but I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you because that's just the way I am. Now, Doom here, let's do that. He's got the necks on a ball peg down here, but then we have the hinge at the top. So it's a little awkward. Like, it's not a bad combo generally speaking, but this hinge is way too tight, so you end up ripping the head off when you're trying to pose him. So mostly you're going to get the swivel and then a little bit of attitude on that ball peg, but not too much. Like, it's a little awkward to pose his head, but you can do it. Full rotation there. His articulation's always been decent on this body, so that's okay. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbows. Definitely could use more paint, but I don't think it's like absolutely essential. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. Ball peg for the diaphragm. He can lean forward pretty well. I mean, for being just a single joint. Doesn't lean back too well or side to side. Okay, never mind. I got it. I was going to say, I thought it went farther before. You kind of have to, at least on mine, I had to wiggle it free. But he leans side to side pretty well. Back. Okay, so you just kind of have to tuck it in, I guess, in order to get it to work. It's not the best. Like, they definitely could have done better, but it should be fine for Doom. He doesn't really need to do much but stand there. For the hips, going out to the side, better than 45. That should be enough. Going forward, it's going to be pretty limited due to the way they did his skirt. That's a very stiff skirt for him. Going back, almost nothing. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knees, not bad. And then if I remember, he has really good ankles. Yeah, he has ball hinge ankles. So you'll be able to use those ankles as much as you've ever wanted to use an ankle. So that'll be good. Probably should have a wire in the cape, I guess. Especially because the way they have it folded, the cape does not want to hang properly. Really. But you can make it work. So yeah, he's okay. He's not special, but he's definitely fine. Alright, let's move on to Norm. This one, well, let's see. Lollipop syndrome for days. Let's see if it's how it is with the head. The other head. Basically the same. Yeah, that definitely isn't ideal, but it is a good looking figure nonetheless. Although the paint is so off on mine. Are they all like that? Please let me know. So just the ever so slightest little bit of attitude on that ball. You have to really force it, then you get more man, I don't know why they just won't make good neck articulation. This is such a dated design. I mean, I made the whole video about it the other day, so you can look up there if you want. But yeah, it'll do for Marvel Legends. It'll be fine. It's still pretty basic. Full rotation for the shoulder. The shoulder pad is connected to the shoulder down here at the bottom, so it should flex over the top here, but it's so stiff in the way they did it. If you try to force it, I don't know if I'll be able to show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, I guess I should say. I tried to force it to see if I could get anything going with this, and I couldn't. And the little peg that's in there, come on camera, here we go. It's too dark in there. Can we get some focus on the hole? I can't get it to focus in there. What the heck? There you go. I think you can see it. The peg is getting ready to snap. So don't try to force the arm up and over that chest piece. That shoulder pad's not going to flex enough, and so that's not good. So his arms have very limited range. Bicep swivel is okay. Double jointed elbow works nicely. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. That's all fine. Diaphragm joint on this guy doesn't go back all that far. Doesn't go forward all that far. Side to side is really good, and rotation is there. These guys can rotate out of the way if you need them to. Bringing the leg forward, not bad. It's okay. It's nothing special, but it's okay. They go back a little bit, but out to the side. Going out to the side is really good once you move the little hip thingies. He's got almost full-on splits, so that's nice. Thigh swivel is well done. Double jointed knee, a little awkward, but not bad. And then for the ankle, we get really good range going back, and not good range going forward. Can we get it over that? Yeah, if you go over that hump, you get decent range and an ankle rocker. So he's solid, other than the shoulders are really bad, which kind of sucks. I don't understand why they can't figure out basic things like that, but at least he looks good. Okay, and then lastly, we have Taskmaster, Vulcan with a cape. So it's everything we've already seen a ton of times. Butterfly joint that is minimally useful. The head, forget about moving the head much. Yeah, it's going to be pretty limited with that cape and the hood. So, yeah, whatever. For the shoulders, we still have the same range as Vulcan. We still have the arms that want to tear off because they can't figure out how to do straight pegs in for bicep swivels. I don't understand Hasbro at all. So yeah, be careful with the arms. They will tear off. Double jointed elbow is okay, good range. Elbow itself is a different color than the rest of the orange, of course, and it wouldn't be a Hasbro product without that. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. This hand has a vertical hinge. That's good. This one also does. Yeah, I'd take that. That's nice. Ab crunch on this guy is not a particularly good looking one. He's got decent range, but it's actually a pretty ugly one. That's a bad looking ab crunch. Leans forward nicely though, so that's okay. Waist twist is twisty. Hips go forward reasonably well. They go back just a touch, going out to the side. Not bad, better than 45. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee with knees that don't quite match the plastic around them. Fine. Good knees. Good enough knees. Boot swivel is... it's there. It doesn't want to go though. So maybe it's not a swivel. Is it? It should be a swivel. Unless it's not a swivel and just has some wiggle in there. Hard to say. It definitely swivels a little bit. Alright, and then the ankles go all the way back and pretty far forward, and you get a decent ankle rocker. So articulation's fine across the board. These two are better than this one, but none of them have any glaring issues other than this guy's shoulders suck. Big time. So, articulation on this 3-pack, I will say 7 out of 10 overall. It's fine. There's nothing remarkable on any of these guys, but it should be enough other than for Iron Patriot's shoulders. Okay, time for the final verdict. I went through 3 figures in 15 minutes. That's not too bad. I'm going to give this 3-pack for Marvel Legends an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty darn good pack. I don't like that this guy's shoulders don't really work at all. This guy's just Vulcan, and this is another Doom that we've seen before. Like, it's a good looking pack, and I do like it, but I don't want to get overzealous here and say how great it is when almost all of it is reused parts, and some of it doesn't work very well. But I do think for people that wanted these 3 characters, or any of them, it's not a bad buy. I think it's okay. So I'll stick with that rating. 8 out of 10 seems fair to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, or at least I will once we get back into the swing of things. And I do have thousands of videos already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.